So here I am on this Saturday evening, myself and Jack, and I have my little laptop up there because I was watching an Agatha Christie story, little film, little movie. I don't know whether it was made by the BBC or Channel 4, one of the UK TV stations. And anyway, it's set in the 1950s. I was born in 1955, so it kind of resonates a little bit with me, although this was a bit before my time. But it shows you Miss Marple, the famous Miss Marple, with her, I think it's her nephew, or it could be, I think it's a nephew. And they're both sat there making Christmas decorations. Now, few of you would remember these decorations. They were the little loops. You got pieces of coloured paper and you cut them into strips and you looped them together. So you'd make a great big long chain of coloured loops. So it became a big long coloured chain. And that formed the mainstay of your Christmas decorations. And you would hang them from the ceiling. You'd hang them from corner to the middle. From corner to the middle. And you'd have all these beautiful coloured chains of paper chains. And then in the middle you'd have some kind of a concertina paper bell or something similar, that kind of opened out. And again, it was all made from paper. Now, the bell you'd have to buy specially. That was, whatever it was, a shilling or 1 and 6 or something. But the paper chains you'd make yourself. And it just got me thinking. Because I can remember sitting making these paper chains with my grandmother. And it was part of the Yuletide festivities, this build up to Christmas, Everything was made. Everything was made by the household that was involved. So the Christmas pudding was made 6 weeks before Christmas, and the Christmas cake was made sometimes 2 months before Christmas. And that was to give all the flavours time to infuse. But you made your own decorations as well. Everything was handmade. Handmade by the household involved. And it got me thinking. Nowadays, we just go to a shop and we buy it. It's all made in China or some other country where there's plenty of labour and it's very cheap to produce. And what, in essence, we have done, we have taken our joy of the little things in life and we've outsourced it. We've outsourced our joy. Just think about that for a minute. Because I've been pondering on it now this past half hour or so. We have outsourced our joy. And all the little things that we did to prepare for a celebration just don't happen anymore. And I was thinking along similar lines earlier on when I was out in the barn there getting some wood to light the stove in the kitchen so as I could have a shower before I went to bed. Now, it's not at all a dull thing to do or a laboursome thing to do. I enjoy the ritual of chopping the wood, of lighting the stove, of making full use of the stove being lit by boiling a kettle on the top and making myself a cup of tea. And this is my second cup of tea, by the way. Oh, and yes, I'm still on my juice fast. But the day that's in it, out there, which is quite a dull day, in that the sky is very grey and it's just a very low light kind of a day. And I know it's just the beginning of July, but it still got me thinking about this preparation for a celebration. So I thought about birthdays, how we used to make our own birthday cards. Knit, crochet or sew birthday presents. And you had to be mindful of what it was you had to do. So there was a lot of preparation. You couldn't just suddenly, at 4:45 on the day of someone's birthday, decide to make them a card or make them a present. There was a lot more thought went into it than that. And a lot of preparation. It's interesting, isn't it? But when you take all that down and you encapsulate it into one sentence, what it is we have done as a so-called civilization, just over the past few decades, we have outsourced our joy. The interesting thing is that because of everything that's happened, which has caused such a depression upon people, among people, and in society in general, because we know that depression has soared and suicide rates are climbing, this is the most marvellous opportunity to reclaim our joy, to go for a simpler way of living. So in every crisis, in every time of chaos, there's so much opportunity. Just something to ponder on. Blessings to you all. So thanks for watching this video. This is my motto: plant like your life depends on it, for it does. And this is what's happened here at Bealtaine Cottage over the past 16 years. I've spent all that time planting and co-creating with Mother Earth, finally writing some books about it, and you'll find a link to the bookshop just below this video. And here are some pictures of how it all looked in the beginning. Haven't changed the cottage much, but I have planted over 1,100 trees, so the land has now been restored, and it's beautiful.